Ryan, was this not just like an awful day for the Vancouver Canucks? Connor Bedard does what he does. JT Miller comes out and is like, yeah, I'm just passionate. That's why I don't backcheck. And then Jim
I'm
Rutherford...
actually not on the ice for a lot of goals.
I'm not. I don't know why. You know why you're not on ice when goals are scored? Is because you've already changed lines by the time the goal's scored. You're on the bench, so you don't get the minus.
Jay Fresh needs to get somebody needs to do the data entry of goals that happen immediately
once the player leaves the ice.
And that one player wears number 9 for your Vancouver Canucks.
And not only that, but Dylan Guenther also scored today. And then then Jim Rutherford also came out in the iMac article and it's like, listen, no, give me a little bit of rub. He came out and he's like, listen, okay, some people don't really, they're good offensive players and they don't understand how to play defense. Sid didn't really, he was good, but he wasn't like a great defensive player until they won the back-to-back cups in 2016. Now, Ryan, I don't know if you can help me.
I don't think that Sidney Crosby was peddled as a offensive-only goal-scoring phenom his entire career,
Ryan,
junior and in the NHL.
If from the age of 19 to 29, which is JT Miller came in at 19, if JT Miller gave me the offense that Sidney Crosby had, and the statistics are right here because I told you how prepared I was today. Sidney Crosby from the ages of 18 to 29 played 782 games, scored 1,027 points. JT Miller from 19 to 29, 673 games played, 494 points scored.
How many times was Sidney Crosby traded away from an eventual Stanley Cup champion or contender?
And then they immediately won the Stanley Cup after. But what I mean by that statistic is, listen, if JT Miller gave me that type of production, JT Miller could have opened up a White Lotus location on the ice, and I wouldn't have cared. But this is like, this is just such a hilarious time going into 2023 being another Canucks.
It is hilarious knowing what's in the draft. It's hilarious knowing what's on the trade block, and it's hilarious knowing where they are at in his contract with the Canucks. And you can sit and there's a lot of good elements to JT Miller's game.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of he kind of reminds me of the way Alex Edler played. He was pretty good about 95, 96% of the time, and then he would screw up, but those screw-ups would be so big, like everybody would notice them. JT Miller kind of makes those mistakes, and he makes things that are easily noticeable, and they give you good fodder because, like, well, this lazy back check, this sloppy change, this comment, like, you can really pick it apart like an onion, and you can interpret it however way you want, as opposed to, Riley Stillman just like, I'm sitting beside the net with a puck, and I'm going to throw it up.
I'm just happy to be here.
So I don't... it's great to pile on JT Miller.
Yeah.
He's up for an award, I hear. But
there's an entire block of awards coming up that might have well.
Are they sauces or are they tosses?
We're gonna find out, Ryan. No, I get what you're saying. The thing, the thing with Eagle is that he's a defenseman, and defenseman, you're constantly being attacked, so you're going to make certain mistakes due to puck pressure or whatever. JT Miller just has like these, and you know what's funny? I went on HF boards again. Sorry,
no.
Just hear me out. I went on HF boards, asked some Tampa Bay Lightning, asked some Rangers fans, like what was this predominant in his play when he was younger?
Mm-hmm.
And through, everyone's like, yeah, that's like that's why he got dealt from the Rangers.
Yeah.
He was moved first before less skilled players, just because he would just have those like completely brain fart moments. And one of the things before we get onto the meat and bones of the show, Ryan, and help me out with this, is that I don't understand this correlation between saying, oh, he's a competitor and he just cares a lot and he's emotional, so that's why that happens.
He's emotional?
I'm like, okay, well, Michael Jordan was emotional.
Michael Jordan was good at sports.
And no, I'm not saying that JT Miller.
Yes, of course. Neither am I.
Right. Okay. But perfect. Better example. Ryan Kessler. The thing with Ryan Kessler is he never knew how to turn it off. Like his motor, he never knew how to turn his motor off. But the thing with him was that you would never have those moments where if he screwed something up, he would kind of just stop. You know,
Yeah.
he would just stop and sulk. And I don't understand what the correlation between someone being emotional and wears their heart on their sleeve and aggressive and all these, and then like that being a justification for them acting like, oh, well, you know, I'm just going to give up on a play.
I kind of felt like these comments were very out of left field for Jimmy.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's seen the 2-minute piece in the intermission about what the hell's JT Miller doing. He's seeing the articles, he's seeing the discourse, and he's like, we got to figure this out internally, and I need to say something to kind of deflect the heat. So if Jim Rutherford can say something dumb and say that this is just like Sidney Crosby to get it off of Miller for a bit, that's a great precedent. That's what Jim Benning never had. Now, am I all sunshine and roses about what's going on when Horvat is going to be traded for and that much more for Alexis Lafreniere and
oh my god,
and Connor Bedard is going to go somewhere in the Western Conference and just terrorize the Canucks until he's a UFA, just like Joe Sakic.
And he's coming. He's coming home.